And I saw an article you did earlier. I think 2 articles.
Yes.
One online and the other one in the newspaper, Daily Graphic.
Yes.
And that one is on tourism.
Yes.
Lumba's contribution or his tourism value, right?
Absolutely.
We'll be getting into that.
Sure.
Yes.
Sure,
But
sure.
let's speak to Austine Woode, who is online now. Good afternoon, Austine. Hello? Okay, all right. So let's talk about Daddy Lumba and his passing. Let's start from last week Saturday. Where were you when you heard the news, Uncle Francis?
I think I was on the way to Cape Coast when the rumor started.
Yeah.
And we wanted to wait to be very sure of that, because Kwame, it looks like almost every year there's something about rumor about Daddy Lumba's passing, and all that. So,
yeah.
When these ones come, you wonder if it is, really what.
Yeah.
So, I think I was in Cape Coast. I was going for a PTA meeting.
Oh, okay.
At Wesley Girls when we were sitting down when I picked my phone, and then I got to know that it's been confirmed. That Lumba is passing. So that was where I was. But before then, we had, been agitating and hoping that it was again one of those rumors that would not be true until it was confirmed that, unfortunately, Daddy Lumba had passed. So, and you know how devastating that would be to everybody, because as I mentioned in my first article, it looks like everybody is connected to Lumba in a certain way.
Yeah.
I even remember that on some of the platforms, some people were talking about how some people are trying to mourn more than the family.
Yes,
Lumba,
yes.
trying to associate themselves, in a way. And my argument was that, well, you never know how people are connected to people.
Yeah.
They may not have known them physically. They may not have known them in person, but their work, their music,
they connect with
connected
the
to them in a certain way. So I don't think anybody to be what you call it, mourning police, if you like, trying to decide how people should mourn. I think we had that some time ago when the likes of Michael Jackson or other musicians died, and if you post on Facebook, people are like, you didn't even know the person.
Yes.
And I say that, listen, you don't know how people are connected to people.
I agree. Yeah.
So, and I think it happened also in the case of Lumba. But I feel that in Lumba's case, there's some genuineness to a lot of the things that people said.
Sure.
He's been one of our biggest musicians for a very long time. For about a generation or more, and obviously the works that he created, and you have realized throughout the week when the radio stations were playing his songs, and as I was coming, I was listening. You and Wubeti were on it.
Oh yes.
And all that, and so you would realize that he has a very big body of work, all of which appeal to people differently.
True.
So many people, some people would have connected to his gospel music.
Yeah.
Some to the ones that talk about funerals and losing loved ones. Some about love, which was one of the big ones that Lumba spoke about.
Great.
And romance, and all that. And so people connect to creative works differently. So I think it was a very big blow to many people, and you would have seen. Last night I was at Plus 233.
Oh, okay.
And at a point when Pash Bay announced that for now it's Lumba time, around 11 p.m., like the whole place went up in uproar. And let me give a shout out to Pash Bay Band. Those guys can perform.
Yes.
And last night was amazing. All the songs they perform, and throughout when they were in Lumba mood, people identify with it. All that. I understand also that Andy Dosty and the people at Soho also had a big night, for Daddy Lumba.
Yeah.
So I think it has been a soulful and sorrowful, mood for the nation over the past, 1 week. The president, issued a statement the former president Nana Akufo-Addo issued a statement. Almost everybody identifies with Lumba in a way, and so I think that
even Parliament,
in different ways, in a very what do you say manner. A parliamentarian was talking about how
at a point I was wondering, one of them tried singing the song.
He was composing his own Lumba song, so I think up and down the country, everywhere, everybody kind of identified with Lumba, and it is why in my column today I thought that we should go beyond just the money, but we'll talk about that and see how we can use his passing, unfortunate as it is, to kind of put Ghana out there as the destination for high life music and use that to drive our tourism.
All right. Okay, thank you. Let's go on Zoom now. Austine Woode is in London. Let's speak to him and then get the breakdown done now, because he's one guy who can break down Lumba's lyrics so easily. Austine, good afternoon.
Good afternoon to you, Kwame, and good afternoon to Francis, everybody in the studio, and to the listeners and viewers as well.
And I hope you are well.
God continues to bless us.
Awesome. So today we are coming to do a breakdown. Even before we go on to the breakdown, how do you assess Lumba's lyrical prowess?
I think that he's up there with the best. He's up there with the best. And like I spoke to you the last time on hits, I did not appreciate it in my early years. But after I had affinity towards him, and also because of my work then as a radio presenter, deciding to look into Ghanaian music. And my favorite genre would be hip life because of what I do with hip life. I said, okay, let me look at the ways Ghanaian musicians weave into their songs. So in going through that journey, Kwame, I was mind blown by what Daddy Lumba did with his words in his songs. When I say I was mind blown, I realized that it goes beyond what the ordinary person would appreciate. So it is not just about people saying that he says words they cannot hear properly or identify with. I think it goes beyond that. I think he's a classic case of a poet who knows what he's doing and weaving each lyric into what we see as that beautifully woven kente of music. And in this journey that we are going to go on, you're going to appreciate it much better. And for one example is, he did this song with Appeal to Ojibosuo. Ojibosuo. During my research about Daddy Lumba about 5 years ago, I appreciated his prowess when you discussed about his words, especially when I listened to this song. And I had to invite a lot of people in because there is a line in there where he says, "Ehohoa bi abetare me bese so. Ono a ontenwe, ono a onto eho. Bese no de yedien." Then the next line is Anafrana Kwei. Anafrana Kwei. Hwe Mami dwan ntumi wo ahenasa. So I said, what is he saying? I asked people and they are saying, okay, what he's practically saying is the thing we always talk about, konongo kaya. Konongo kaya meaning somebody who would not carry, but would not allow you also to carry. And that is what a lot of musicians use when they want to say something like that in their songs. Konongo kaya, konongo kaya. Why is Daddy Lumba saying it differently? So I started doing research. Then I asked them, Anafranaku. And first, the Hohwa is the red ants. And these red ants, what they do, he's saying is, they are always on the cola tree. They do not have anything to do with it. They don't enjoy it, but they are on it and will not allow you who would want the cola to come for it, but they're still on it. Then the next line, Anafranaku.
Austine,
yeah.
I think if we are to continue with this today, we may not be able to tackle our songs. So.
Okay, so just this
but
one.
One thing, please come on video for us.
Oh, okay. Sorry,
yes,
I didn't
please.
know I wasn't on.
Yes.
Yes.
Let's see. Yeah, your background is nice as well. Beautiful.
Yeah, it's a celebration. So you see, Kwame, it's the science behind this one. I just want people to know in a minute.
Okay.
Anafranaku is the name of a tree called the latifolia, and the sheep always eats that leaf. But what Lumba is saying is that latifolia, everybody would know, if you eat the flower and the seed, the sheep will die. But he's saying, stop being that kind of leaf so that my sheep can give birth to 3 people or 3 kids. And we know why he would be saying that.
Oh.
So he's bringing science into what every musician would have talked about. Konongokaya. That is brilliance. That is brilliance. And you need to do research, further research, to appreciate what he does. He's a very intelligent musician. I think it goes beyond just music.
Yeah.
He's very intelligent.
Very, very intelligent. Austine, and you're doing 5 songs for us today, right?
Yeah. Philip says I should do 5.
You should have been in Ghana.
I should. Yeah, I would have. Kenansa would have agreed for me to do it.
Austine, so we are starting with Sika, right?
Yeah, Sika. Let's start with Sika because money is good.
Exactly. So you are going to explain the first verse, right?
Yeah.
Then we take a listen to that. We pause, and then you explain the second verse, and then we continue. Beautiful.
Okay.
Right?
So in Sika, what Daddy Lumba basically is doing is, in the first thing he's saying is, "Hey mama o, memfa wo bre enya kwadro." So don't be a lazy person. Hey papa o, memma uba enda deja. So you as a parent should fend for your family, especially your kids. So he talked about all that and says, "We are simu hiya." So everybody would appreciate those words. But he comes back to say that we are simu hiya. And what he is doing is he's telling you that there is this disconnect about money and hard work. He says that in the Bible, it says, "Nyame kronoa or say, eme nyini ni ebeda a ebedie ho no. Say nyame kronoa sin say nya adwuma enidi." What is he telling you? You know, when people are lazy, they resort to using certain parts of the Bible wrongly. So Daddy Lumba is saying, those who keep saying that and say nyame say obehye or no abehye no was nyame kronoa sin say nya adwuma enidi. So this is why Daddy Lumba is talking about getting money and not relying on certain things people will say, quoting the Bible and all that. And that once you decide to work and you get money, people will say some of the money people have had is not through hard work. It is not good money. But Sika da ball ashua unuya pebi na your hene. So let's listen to this. What I've said is people will appreciate it better once he starts singing.
Okay, guys, so take a listen to Sika, Daddy Lumba. Well, Austine.
Yeah, Kwame.
Yes.
So the last line he did, right?
Yes.
He was saying that, you know, the matrilineal inheritance, we say, my uncle is going to die and now he will leave me his properties. We've been saying that, so it means, you know, when the child is learning the ABCD, they always start with ABC, then they end. So Kwame Dadzie will tell his daughter, kid, say ABC, they say ABC, then they end. So they don't move forward. Ghana has been facing same because we have relied on donors and we still remain where we are. So that is what Daddy Lumba is still saying in the song. We still continue to remain where we are because we think, say, Now, moving to the next line, he's going to say something. It's very key. He says, Kaladian ko fatame. Menso, mehunesi, wadono, ono so adomie humiesi. Addy ye ton soro atitidie beden ato. What he's saying is he met a woman. He loves the woman. He thinks the woman is beyond him. But the woman, even looking that plush, also loves him back. But when you are selling something and it is up a tree, the tortoise cannot buy it because it is always on the ground and short. So he's referring to money being poor as the tortoise. So that is what he's saying, he would be saying in the next line. So when he says, Kaladian ko fatame, se ononsu humin wadomiesi, nansubuo adie ye ton soro achichide be dato. If you are something is up the tree, the tortoise has a short hand and it's on the floor, cannot buy it. So that is what you would be saying in the next line. That is why or say oba me dono no or the nensabem kuma ya me baba. You know in Ghanaian settings, when you use your left hand, it means you don't respect the person. So oba in kame dono so the nensa ya me bon kuma ya me baba. So when you listen, you'd appreciate it better, Kwame.
Wow, I'm loving this one. 99.7 FM, Showbiz A-Z. We are celebrating Daddy Lumba's legacy and his works. And at the moment, Austine Woode is breaking down some of his songs. This one in the background is Sika. Now, we are going to the next one, which is Yene Wo Sere Kwa. But before that, Austine, anything to add to this one?
So you listen to Sika, and he starts by telling you as a parent, you should do everything not to let your kids struggle in life. As a human, you should not be a lazy person and work and strive to make ends meet. Then it dovetails into all the things you talked about, what money can do. Then the disconnect between what the Bible says the God will do for you and the same God saying if you don't help yourself. So which one would you choose? Then he talks about how money, because of money, you just take out the color and put something else there. Color the amount for, but put something valuable there. You might lose it because of money. You know, a lot of people say, I had this scholarship, but I needed 5,000. I didn't have it, so I didn't go. So that is basically what money can do.
Austin, some people say they love the color too much, so they can't take it away.
Okay, no problem.
You didn't ask who? Philip Nye.
Philip, oh wow.
Please, let's go to the next song, Yene Wo Sere Kwa. All right.
So for Yene Wo Sere Kwa, Kwame, I'll give you a background, and the background would explain the issues. You see, when Yene Wo Sere Kwa came out 2011, it did not make waves, but it started making waves after Yene Wo Bɛtɔ 2014. The problem with it is people think that because Yene Wo Sere Kwa is the catchphrase, he's attacking somebody. No. Yene Wo Sere Kwa is never Kutianyum or attacking somebody. When I explain and give you the background, you appreciate it. And a lot of people struggle to appreciate what he said when he was singing the first stanza. So after he does Yene Wo Sere Kwa, Yene Wo Sere Kwa, everybody appreciates Yene Wo Sere Kwa. But when he says, Mami yeno free atonsu boduase, se treni ba yeno na mi gu ninsɛn. No ye mami adamfo pa. Mami menyini ama wudin aye mede. Menya emanye wiase nwanwa se unye busuani nso meto abedin. Yene Wo Sere Kwa. What he's saying is his mother's friend was a woman who was always called Mami Yeno. Then after he fell ill, he was there one day and it struck him that I think the woman's name is Mami Yeno. So that's why he's saying Mami Yeno free atonsu bodiase. Setreniba Yeno na mi gunin saying my mother's friend. You know the mother is a setre person. And the mi gunin saying no ye mami adam fupa. You know, Kwame, you always name your case after somebody you know. But he's saying metuna bedin abra onye busuani ebe riasing wanwa. So it shows the love he has for that woman. And that is what he says in the first stanza of the song. So it's ma me ye no free atonsu bodiase se treniba ye no na mi gu ninsen No, ye mami Adam Fupa. Now you'd appreciate it when he sings it.
Right. Okay. So let's take a listen to Daddy Lumba's Yene Wo Sere Kwa.
So there's a part he says, and everybody identifies with this. Kwame, into being castle or doda. Obia ni obia twempana pen. So as young people we dated, we thought we would marry. We said we would go the long haul.
Yeah.
We did not marry them.
Yeah.
Until Lumba si obin castle or doda. Obin castle obewu amaoda.
Yeah.
Kwame, for better, for worse, we are SHS, we would love till the end. Yedimo Jafra, people are going blood covenants. Then he says that if all these people are saying this about you, then you would have a lot of people around you in your time of need. Like when you sit around, you'd have dogs around, your dogs around you. How come now that you are in need, you have none of those people around you? He's telling you what happened to him when he was ill. Lots of Ghanaians, fantasy club, Lumba this, we love Lumba. Lumba is that. But when he was ill, it was just him. All those who said they would die for him, all the women they loved him, none was there to appreciate him and serve him in his time of need. And Kwame, he says something. You know, you people on radio say that, and you say it for the uptime time. It is down that you are on radio that people appreciate you. If you are no more on radio, your name is going to fade off. People will not even remember your good deeds.
Yeah.
Why is it that Daddy Lumba says the same thing, and people say, "Oh, be a kutia"? Once radio presenters consistently say that thing on radio for the uptime time. Kwame, the last verse is an advice his mother-in-law's mother gave him. He said, because he is famous, God has made him famous, it is a good thing for him. So when they can say, what it means is the person who is famous, the person who is up there, the person who is leading the fort, a lot of people would want to hate on that person. Would you Wadofwasa, Kojo Foswa Hofedia. And right now he's talking about himself. Oprohima is a squirrel, a small squirrel. Also Odum. Kwame, Odum is that giant tree.
Yes.
And when he uses Odum, is a squirrel breaking it down. So that is who Daddy Lumba's in-laws know he is. So the in-law is telling him, people will hate you because you have name, you are known everywhere, but that is why people hate on you. Don't worry about that. All the ones who even said they love you, Yene Wo Sere Kwa. Kwame, when you put
Okay, I'll see you. All right, so we are breaking down Daddy Lumba's songs. We did Sika earlier on. This is Yene Wo Sere Kwa. Yeah, and Austine Woode is doing the breakdown for us right here on Joy 99.7 FM, Showbiz A-Z. Let's listen to the last bit of the song. Okay, so that's Yene Wo Sere Kwa.
No, it's Shedding, the official title.
Okay, yeah. Shedding is the next song. Do you have anything to add to Yene Wo Sere Kwa?
No, Yene Wo Sere Kwa, people should listen to it, what I have said, and they would appreciate it. I think the controversy was over the Mami, people side,
yeah.
But now I've explained it that Mami, free at home, but they are saying, no, yeah, Mami, are down for. But
okay.
So people, when you listen, then you get the clarity.
All right, so ready to go with Shedding, right?
Yeah, so Shedding, this is it, Kwame. Shedding is Daddy Lumba telling Ghanaians that everything they've said about him, right, he hears them. Everything they've said about him since 1992. Lumba di edua kwa buruchiri amiache no. Lumba akoji obi yiri wo Germany. Obi abonidria. Lumba ye all that. And there's a part, you know, the infamous Wasisi distributor.
Yeah.
He addresses it in this song. So he's saying something
without mentioning name.
No, but everybody would know. I would know. Everybody knows the famous producer. Kwame, we know which producer said that Lumba has cheated him back then in 1998. So, in the first stanza, Lumba says something which is shocking. Because he says, Yenton sen shira ye busue fuo. Nanso mempai boni se, Nyamintu matamfu nem. Kwame, what does that mean? When they can say Yenton sen shira ye busue fuo, it means somebody who doesn't like you, somebody who hates you, somebody who wants your downfall. You should always pray for the gods to curse them so they suffer in life. But Daddy Lumba is saying, they can say, Yanton some French busue for. But media, mempai boni say, Yamin to my town for them. The people who hate on me, I always pray for God to let them grow and see my success as a human being. That is what he says in the first two stanzas of the song. Listen to it and you appreciate it. He's talking about Ghanaians who attack him unnecessarily.
All right, so here is Shedding, Daddy Lumba.
So Kwame, you appreciate what he was saying.
Mm-hmm.
Now to the second one.
All right.
People don't believe him. They say, why? You know, Ghanaians keep saying, oh yeah, then any penny na say why. So Daddy Lumba in the second verse is saying, oh, okay. So even after me saying all these things, you still believe I've done all the things people have said about me. Okay. So, Mama Misapone Samana. Nami Gary me who feel what bedroom. Ewa Mensah yanim. Se me di kontom pa di obia de da. Me si hu mo we awurade anim. Enti me papa me ye nyina enhu na ase ne anim guase yi. Me hira mo kose. Anka me nya tekrema pemu a. Enka me ne na mafie mu ayiyi ma no. A kire madofo. Nanso baabi a ya san mi akoduru no. Ensan koduru ho. Koyo me di hu yaw bebre. Enti me dia me mpai bone se na ne nyame ntu matamfo nam na enkyenke wonafe obia behu mu nokre se me di fo a awurade anim. So when I explain to English for Joy FM listeners, he's saying that now let us come into the public space. Special prosecutor said I've done this. I will not hide. I'm coming. I will go to court to face him. Maybe ukro me ho ewa Mensah nyina anim. Se me gifo a
Austin, special prosecutor no na wonyum.
I'm explaining so people appreciate the settings.
No, I love that. Yeah, I love that.
When somebody says, Mama Misapone Samna, na mi nyare me hu fi wo bedwamu a. Bedwamu means for in a place, a law court, a place where everybody, like, the stakes are even.
Yes.
So bedwamu. When Kwame, he says something significant. You see, he did not say Maji wo bibi bia mi si hu mo. You know, that is what that guy in the Bible did. Is it the
Zacchaeus?
Zacchaeus.
The short man, yes, Zacchaeus.
Yeah, Zacchaeus. So, short man there, the Assembly of Ghana. You know, Zacchaeus said that he is doing that. But for Lumba, he is quoting Zacchaeus, but not the Zacchaeus way. He is rather saying, Semidin kontum pa jubia dia, missing whom you know, so he's not accepting he's taking somebody's money or cheating somebody. He says, he believes that he took the money which is rightfully his. But so that is the difference between what he said and what Zacchaeus in the Bible said. Zacchaeus accepted that he used crude means to take people's money. He is saying that no. For me, so that is what he is saying in that, and he says that all the things people are saying about him, he wished he had 1,000 mouths to go to every Ghanaian home to tell them his side of the story. But he cannot do that. He only has one mouth. That is why he will put it on a song and it will get into every home. It's say, baby, I say na kodru no. Maybe na kodru. You know, radio people say it, that you say something not to care. Maybe an any panesi when you are apologizing. So that is what he was telling Ghanaians back then.
All right. So Austine, the controversial Woode, still here on Showbiz A-Z, Joe 99.7 FM. He's breaking down Daddy Lumba's songs, and we are now on Shedding, Daddy Lumba. Let's take a listen to the rest of the song. Yeah.
The last one is where it is very key to this song. He says, "Aprapramumaso, enye menumu dentia, na mansan ye yentia." As for me, Daddy Lumba, I have done. I will say, I have done Drew. I have enough money. It is not just about me. I would have stopped the music because you are doing something for Ghanaians they do not appreciate. Why are you still worrying yourself? But mansan ye yontia, na me de mea, me di here pain is very key. Also, we di here pain. Na amasa ne maame ama na kumapa de akumapa tete no enti saa de no ha no enti wo hu obi a ne ho kire na opese oboa no saa emoa na ono ko betimi aton ne nyom dada na wo obehu se o ma nton nyom afi wo so wasisiw Lumba obonwom o hia se wo be ba be support na nsa na ahete wo de wo be ka ho na lete ye we ya wo se wo Sika na sisiw enye na num de ntiro na mansan ye yonti na amasa na ha no amasa is the mother what the akuma party no and Kwame he said something significant you say obrempombe na wo Ghana ye ngu nanum aseda which big person in Ghana have not said such things about even the great Dr. Kwame Nkrumah after he was dethroned. Look at the front page of the Daily Graphic. Look at what was said about him. Then he said something. You need to listen attentively or you not get it. In talking about the big people in Ghana, we have done that too. So he's not worried we are doing it to him. He says, Anochi dia body chano danwa. So the big people, I am using Dr. Kwame Nkrumah. He is using Okonfo Anochi. And Kwame, you know, legend has it that Okonfo Anochi can plant the plantain today, and that same day, you will harvest it. So I say, Anochi Konfo dia brody chano danwa. Edieba nwangwadie no wanye, oyisike jama, he brought even the golden stool for us. But Anochi say, Okwa kope wiye druaba. You see, all of these things, they still do not appreciate Okonfo Anochi for all what he has done. And they keep telling lies about why he did not come back after he went on that journey. So what even they've done it to Anochi, Konfo will chabrodi chano danwa, Konfo Oma Santi Sikejwa Kofi by the golden stool. Then me Amasaba. Shedding omudia you obidia. That is where he ends it.
Wow. Okay, so let's listen to the last bit of the song, Shedding, Daddy Lumba. And we're still celebrating Daddy Lumba. Early on, I asked you to tell me one thing you love and like about Daddy Lumba apart from his songs. 05511119997. In the meantime, we are breaking down Daddy Lumba's songs, and Austine, the controversial Woode, is helping us to do that. All right, Austine, before we go to Yene Wo Bɛtɔ and Emere no Beswa, let me come in here and pick a few thoughts from Uncle Francis and Uncle Ken, and then I come back to you to do the last two, right? Okay. So let me come in here and talk to Uncle Ken.
Yes, Kwame.
Good to see you.
Good to see you too. Today, for the first time, I've seen Austine Woode.
That's Austine.
I really like Austine.
Yeah, Austine, the controversial Woode.
And his controversies.
He's very controversial.
And that's why I like him. Because
and he's smart. He's very intelligent.
Very smart and intelligent.
Yeah. Okay. So let me.
Good evening, Austine. Nice to see you for the first time.
Thank you, Uncle Ken, and welcome as well.
Thank you.
All right. So let me start with you, Uncle Ken, since You came in not long ago, so let's start.
I came
with
long
you.
ago.
Long
I
ago.
mean, since you were late.
No, long ago. Okay, you came in long ago. Yeah, man, can you cry? Man, from basa. And again.
Yes.
So let's start with you. How you heard the news
God.
and then.
I woke up Saturday morning.
Yes.
As usual, when I wake up on a Saturday morning, my first port of call is on Joy FM.
Yeah.
Adam Naites.
Home affairs.
Home Affairs. I never miss Home Affairs. I've told her before, and she knows it. I set an alarm for Home Affairs because I enjoy listening to people's perspectives about, home life.
Yeah.
So I listened to Home Affairs, and then I went into my political landscape, to listen to some political stuff elsewhere. And then I switched to your station, your other station, Hits FM. And there was this discussion about news on social media. I hadn't gone on my phone or anything, so I hadn't seen anything on social media. But when I switched to Hits and heard them, Andy Dusty and crew talk about somebody posting on social media about the demise of Daddy Lumba, and they debunking it.
They debunked it.
They
Prof.
debunked it vociferously.
Andy debunked it
vociferously. So
his source misled him.
So I said, one of those things. Every year Daddy Lumba is dead.
Yeah.
Kind of thing. So I sort of just disregarded it. And then I went on to Facebook. And I started seeing other people's posts. And I saw a post of yours.
Yes.
What did you say the first time? You said...
I said the scaremongers were scaring us.
Exactly.
With a question mark. Hey, what's happened to Lumba? If you have the facts,
Put them out.
Put them out. Yeah.
Yes. So I saw yours too, because as for Kwame's posts, I always get them and read them. I saw your post and I said, So then the first thing I saw that really caught my attention was the lawyer's statement.
Okay. Yeah.
That came up not too long after to say that our legend had actually passed on.
That was really the nail in the coffin.
Yes.
Yes.
for
Yeah.
everybody,
Yeah.
That's what got me. I said, wow, how? And it saddened the mood of the whole day. And obviously, unfortunately, we were not on air that weekend.
Yeah.
Because I know what we would have done. Who else were selling houses.
Habitat Fair. Yeah.
But, I listened to most commentary on this happening. What I want to say is, I like Daddy Lumba. And I can identify, I was just telling Francis.
Yeah.
While you were there, I can identify with Daddy Lumba because he grew up being nurtured by a woman. And he followed it up in school, being very intelligent, and had a teacher who was a woman who took care of him in school. After school, when he decided to do music or blah, blah, because apparently he was very intelligent in school. He got another woman who assisted him to get out of the country. Travel to Germany. And Kwame, when you grow up amongst women, it's a different ball game. If you are nurtured by women from childhood to a certain age, you see the value of women.
Yeah.
And yes, because I experienced that. I was saying to Francis, you remember, since we came here, and Philip will tell you, I've always been going on and on and on and on about
the women
my 3 Presbyterian women who raised me.
Yeah.
So I have an affiliation towards women, and I love women. And I would always fight for the cause of women because of those women who raised me. They give you a certain insight into life that you might not maybe have if you are not raised by a woman.
Yeah.
And those who are raised by women out there will accept to what I'm saying.
That's so true. That's why we love women.
Yes.
All of us.
So me, I love women. Very much. And most of my friends are women. So Daddy Lumba, being raised by women, you realize that the man adored women. He sang a lot about love because of the love he got from his mother and from the teacher. You know, there was this teacher who...
Mama Echampo.
Mama Echampo. Yes. And she says nice things about the gentleman, and Lumba also idolizes the woman. And my only point is that whilst growing up, he found out that there are some dangerous women along the line. I like that about him. And when he found out that there were some dangerous women along the line, he did a song
For them.
for them.
Girls, dangerous. Girls, dangerous.
Oh, he was a nice man. And I think everybody has said so much.
Yeah.
I don't know what else I can add. We have just been joined by...
The musical president himself.
Is he?
Musical president.
Oh, yes.
Oh, yes, he is.
My biggest brother.
Yeah.
And we always fight, me and him.
Oh, why?
Bessa,
That's what siblings do.
What? Okay.
Bessa is here.
Yeah.
And I know Bessa has a lot more to say
Sure.
than I can ever say. So, Bessa, forgetting Kwame, I want to welcome you to my show.
Thank you, kid.
Uncle Bessa,
Yes.
good to have you.
Thank you very much.
Okay. So before I come to you, let me stay with Uncle Francis Doku. Austine was earlier on breaking down Lumba's songs. And I was like, hey, is it the same song I've been listening to? Because Mentishi.
I think as a chorus of
Yeah.
many people who
Yeah.
kind of identify with.
Is it
Lumba's
because we
song.
don't
I mean,
pay attention to him, or
Yeah, but you see,
the words are heavy?
he has a way. I'm sure Mensah will be able to say the technical
Yes.
way of how he couches his lyrics.
Yeah.
You know, most other musicians, you just understand immediately they sing what they are saying. But there are others, and the likes of Lumba, who kind of couch their lyrics in a way that sometimes it has to take extra, listening and extra
Yeah.
effort to properly hear or even understand what he's
You need to
saying.
hear before you understand.
Yes, because you probably listen, but hearing it's different also. So you first have to properly hear what he's saying
Yeah.
and then understand it. I'm sure it's also for secondary people who are not very familiar with the places he speaks about.
Yeah.
And the things that he talks about. Some of those people would understand immediately. He sings, they know what he's talking about.
Sure.
But for many people who listen to his songs, you have to do extra. And I can tell, just like many others, there's many of his songs that we jump to, we sing along, that we are only mumbling. We're just not, and we sing it, we dance to it. But about 90% of the times, we really don't, know what exactly Lumba is saying. But like Uncle was saying earlier, you identify with the song, so much that you go along and all that. Yeah. But in terms of the proper lyrics, it would take a lot more for you to listen to be able to. And some of them, I'm getting it as
Austine is breaking them down.
Austine is breaking them down,
Yeah.
Yeah, that has been it for so many years.
Uncle Bessa, I'll come to you in a moment. We're listening to Austine break down some of the songs. He's done 3 already. We have 2 more to go. So, Austine. Hello.
Yeah, Kwame.
Okay, so let's go to the 4th song, which is Yene Wo Bɛtɔ, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
And you see, Francis just said something. It is true. You need to sometimes know where he found himself to appreciate some of the things he says. So in Obiatomesobo, when he says Odobe Kaimielsu, I did the beer drawer, I say Mubetinia Penu. Back then where he lived, what he's saying is, these people who sell drugs in cars. Or lies, lies. How do we you know back then? So the man is called Ajidebi. So he will say, Muntoni bi says here, whom you okay, you know. Na Ajidebi, Mubese Mutobi Munhume, Ube here, a drone Munhume, Ajidebi a drone rase, Ube Chinia Peno, now so no, you get that. So, like Francis said, you need to have lived in such areas to appreciate some of the things he said. Because how would you even know Ajidebi a drone ra? But you know it's true. Or don't bet you how. But Ajidebi a drone ra, Ube Chinia Penabra. You to or turn a drone now. See, Muntobi says here. Najidebi mubere me. That's what you were saying. So in any Bɛtɔ, Kwame, the problem with this song is people have given an unofficial title to the song, and that has created the problem. People think that the title of the song is Yentio, but the official title of the song is Yene Wo Bɛtɔ. Once you appreciate what I have just said, you would know as we go along. And the challenge that Daddy Lumba faced with this song is from Kumasi. When this song came out in 2014, I was there. President Mahama then had visited Kumasi, and the RCC had a sound system at the back of a car following the president's convoy, playing in Ethiopia this song. And it was during the time of Dumso. So people said that the president of the republic is saying Ghanaians complaining on Ethiopia. So now when somebody says something and I will not mind, you say Ethiopia. So they think that the song is Lumba's on Ethiopia, and you know that the song is Yene Wo Bɛtɔ. That is why he starts by saying, me humo nipa, yesi nipa huni emaye. Even God rested on the seventh day. Nipa no kume ho. Nipa beriase bakope. You only live once. Until you know now, the young people say, no. Lumba says it in Nipa beriase bakope. So you only live once is the same as Nipa beriase bakope. Until ni obianu kume ho. Because who kume nipa. On appreciate it. Into Yene Wo Bɛtɔ. Then he says something that people talk about him, says a lot of things about him. He has done this, he has done that, he has done that. But when he fell ill, people could come to him and say, "Hey, Lumba pa no wadawa wa yesi. Lumba we di enye kan wanu aduro." Tino say, "Shedama medro se minumwa." So when he says here in Ethiopia, he's saying that don't listen to what people will tell you. Yene Wo Bɛtɔ. People will tell you to do things that typically you would not do because you are in a difficult situation. Kwame, in the first stanza, he says that Mesheda dademu bonyom said ye madofu di bebu omu edi diasa. Daddy Lumba ne bo antiata. Daddy Lumba ne bo se udem tu punumu. Daddy Lumba ne bo pony. Every engagement back in 1998 till now, they play ABCA group. Today, our group, we went to the wedding of our friend. ABCA group will be played there. So he's saying, Michelle, that they are there mu said they madofu di bebu party power. And you see, some members of the NDC, he said, because Lumba had played a song in 2008, Nanaya winner, and and when Afarajan said we should go to time, he came to say Nanewu. So Lumba a MPP for to say party for mpo and kaide maye. No. He said party power on kaine maye, onya Nigeria on kaine maye, obuni mu on kaine maye. So that is what he was saying. So it's not party for, it's Michelle that there mu bonyom and theater pony them two kunumu magana for. Onyane girl no di buni mu on kai ne maye. Party pon when the party closes on kai ne maye. Oba adi mpo wo homeda mi ni nipa no achi nkume ho. Nti na o si mi nti obia mi ni nipa no achi nkume ho.
Guys,
Kwame.
Austine the breakdown Woode. He's breaking down the songs. Okay, so here is Yene Wo Bɛtɔ by Daddy Lumba. Joy 99.7.
You know that part we cannot explain on radio.
Okay.
We cannot explain on radio. But he is going to say something. We don't know who tried to do that. But say sumo anum osuno and so wamposo. Sumo is lice, which is found on dogs. You see how fat the elephant is?
Are they not bugs?
Bugs, yeah.
Bugs, B-U-G.
The one on dogs is called sumrono. Well, the ones we find on dogs, I don't know the English. That would be bugs. Yeah. So sumrono, you know, it sucks the blood of a dog and can make it go lean and affect it. But he's saying one ultimate kramai moja and ma kramai yemreno. One osono amposo neji lies kete no kra to utirima utimi miano eno de na be ye osono se babu bom so mamfuro ne nwa dede bebrebe mu na mu bunu bibia ekwo ba jesimeda na mada and you know ekwo ba is the bison, a strong animal. So oda no wada ontie niamo kano. So in this part, he's talking about his greatness, how he is as an elephant. So the small things that you throw at him, like Lumba has done this, you will not be moved by those things. So that's what he says in the next part. Then we go to the main part of the song, which will blow the minds of Ghanaians.
All right.
So,
okay, I think I should go back a little bit here.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because
right.
it is the main body of the song.
Oh, okay, the last part.
Yeah, that is the main body of the song, and you'd appreciate it. Kwame, from 1993, right, like you posted, every year they put it out that Daddy Lumba is dead. 1995, they said the girls he sings with, they were going to Belgium carrying drugs. He's been arrested. That is why he says in one other song, they keep saying a lot of things. Lumba koji obi yiri wo Germany wa boni dia. Sebi Lumba funa hono. Lumba sisi obi. Lumba yewe. Lumba di obi wako fo obi yiri wo Belgium. Lumba ni obi akoda. Lumba wo Islebon. Lumba, all these things about him. Lumba. So he says, me bon yo mama nkrofo aware aso no. O se keta baimu. Pony. Inti me bon yo mama nkrofo aware aso no. No mo di omanu akadem. Kwame, these same people saying Lumba is doing all these wild things. Keep saying, na Lumba obo nyuma tio na say ko dwenchi nkwa o Lumba e say wo afu ado a wo hyedem untimi mpie. Woman bia bonidia o Germany okoje man ne yire. Okoswem elusi Lumba ne nasi atata wo hyedem untimi mpie. Nti Lumba de ontimi fa nwom ma o. Na saying voice ne kwa na ebo nyum na Lumba release ya che na wonte. Lumba is say koke apan egu ne yema ma omu yi o enye yo. So he saying me bon nyum ma nkofo aware aso no. Na some nkofo ya de omanu akama hyedem that I cannot go out, I'm in this, I'm that. When these people finish, when they finish, they say that I like women. And masu nyemre no ma fifi wo me them. You know, mushrooms, they are always growing in dumpy areas with shade. So a man must me pomono. Omu nyemre no ma fifi me them because must me that them. And ye say Ghana former pe me pa, and ye me pie akopebi. Na se bia na me nsumenya me dofo. Abra me brenu manhu mi sunu mo ante Kennedy Japan ko wuni ba brefo didi na wa bre. So that is the body of the song.
Wow. And nobody na kwasha yes ano.
See away.
Austine Woode is there breaking down Daddy Lumba songs. Let me come in here and Okay. Austine, please stay there. We're not done. Okay, so this is FM Showbiz A to Z. We're still dedicating our show today to Daddy Lumba, and Austine Woode is breaking his songs down. We've done 4 so far. One more to go. But before that, let me come in here and speak to the musician in our midst. He is the musician. He has studied music. He writes music, composes music, performs music. Uncle Bessa Simons is here. Uncle. We're just amazed at the lyrical dexterity of Daddy Lumba, how he weaves the words and everything. As a musician, what does it take to be adept at this craft?
Yeah, thank you very much, and good day to everybody. When it comes to Lumba, I remember I met Lumba in London.
Oh, nice.
And he was coming to do a show. I can't remember the year. But then I was doing session keyboards for almost everybody.
Okay.
So I was invited. So I was invited to come and play, with Lumba. But before then, here is this guy who emerged from somewhere and was making hits after hits. So all his songs were hits. Everybody coming to the show knows the song. So you have to learn the song, study the song, know all the keyboard parts, so I have to stay in the house. And so he walked into this rehearsals, and he knows everything about his songs. I can tell he's done his homework. He sounded like someone who practices a lot. Even his singing, he will practice it over and over and over and over. This is the impression I got, working with him. So we did the show. And since then, if I'm somewhere and he's playing and he knows I'm there, you call me, come and join me, let's do this show. I even played with him I was on holidays when I was not living in Ghana.
Okay.
And we played at the conference center.
Okay.
Mensah, the guitarist was here.
Wow.
So it was really nice. But coming to Lumba's music, so he came in after the Echo to Prof and things, and he came in with, those days we were, transitioning into digital music. And he was using the metallic drums, hard kicks, hard snares, hard marimba. Everything was in your face, And that was the era. That was the sound. And he just brought it into the Highlife world. And that whole generation took to it. And then I couldn't hear what he was saying, but I really love his melodies. I was just getting into lyrics and people who write lyrics. Some people can just put words together, and if you go through it, it's so magical. So listening to Lumba's lyrics here and there, I couldn't hear it, but there was this lady who knows from word to word, like what Austine is doing. And so he is saying this, he's saying that. There was one song that he said, on send them the picture. I didn't hear that. I was hearing on say pizza. So I said, what? Is it pizza or what? Then she said, no. Or say on send them picture. I said, that what is it? So I found a Lumba, the style of writing it there. Me feel say, I don't know, say to me documenting the filming all kind about it. So I don't know whether he put pen and paper together to write it down, or it just comes from the head. I mean, people like Sika man and Pat Thomas, they can just give them the concept and they will sing. I don't know whether Lumba is one, and those people, they are magical. They finish and you can just harmonize or change or two places and you have the song. Like Sika Moja, it's a one-touch thing that goes to the end, got the chorus from it, and that was the song, and it's a classic song. And his melodies, I mean, you can sometimes you can hear Kyei in it, you can hear Pat Thomas here, and his style, plus his own funky kind of rhythms, and it was just amazing. I mean, his rhythmic patterns, like ta 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 king. People don't do rhythms like that with melodies and words, but he plays, and it's just amazing. I mean, one time I said to myself, "Wow, why didn't I think about it that way?"
That way.
Yeah, but he did it, and his era up to now, we cannot write Ghana history when it comes to music without Lumba.
Without him.
I mean, he created. It's like our ancestors left us Highlife. Burger Highlife took it to another level, and he came in with uplifted it to another level with the technologies that we had, at that time. And for you to write a song that still, makes sense, is good. I mean, and he also wrote songs that his lyrics has multiple meanings. I just heard Austine saying Obunumwa but ni pesa when you are dancing you boo your moon. And one thing I also realized is,
I get it.
Double entendres.
Exactly.
Double entendres,
So everybody gets their piece. You listen to a line, and whatever happens to somebody happens to other people, so they can see themselves in it, and that's what made Lumba so popular, because he says something and say, Yene Wo Sere Kwa. It's true. People will look at you and, especially Prof crying, no but at the back of the mind. Yeah, and it is so true. And he writes songs, children. He writes songs, Nyamin Shramba. I haven't heard anybody saying Nyamin Shramba in a song, but Lumba did it all. I mean, talking about Lumba is one thing that I'm just thinking about how we can document, now that MUSIGA wants to have a data of all our great musicians. I'll be interested to know how he wrote his songs, whether on a paper or straight from the mind.
Yeah. Thank you, Bessa Simons, who is MUSIGA president. Francis,
I just wanted to ask Uncle Bessa a small question. Some have said that Lumba's song is more pop than Highlife. And you mentioned about the kicks, and all that. So I wanted to, as the expert in music, what would you say to that?
Well, I mean, Highlife is the easiest song to fuse any genre with. So, yes, Lumba had, that time, that his songs were coming from the pop. I mean, you hear the melodies in his songs, they are coming from R&B music and things. And I think that's why people said. And the tone of his voice. And also before then, people were pronouncing their words, but he came in with Asante slang. And so, you can feel, or Prof or Kyei, so it made it very R&B kind of a singing style. But still, he was using Highlife melodies. Okay. And also he used guitars and used them very, very well. The Highlife guitars, the Highlife elements in there were so well. And also his music was swinging, like a song, dun 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 dun. I mean, this guy was doing all these things, and I can tell you can feel the swing in there,
Uncle, for those who don't know swinging, what is swinging?
Swing is more of a bebop kind of a style, like if we go in 1, 2, 3, 4, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, and like if you play do de de da do da di do, that is straight right, but do de di da do da di do de.
Okay,
then you are swinging.
So that's swinging.
That's swing. Yeah.
Tell them swing is more utilized in jazz.
Yeah, it's jazz.
Okay.
Sorry.
Jazz.
In jazz.
Yeah. It's more jazz inclined.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, it's more jazz. So if you play like classical, you play. In Japan,
Okay. All right.
Yeah,
All right.
yeah.
All right. Let me swing to Uncle Ken then.
The jazz band is here. Man.
Yeah. Very interesting conversation.
Yes.
I think, and I don't know what Francis and Bessa would say about this. I think that Lumba was that modern day version of people like Nana Kwame Dadzie
Yes.
in storytelling,
Yes.
because his songs were more storytelling.
Yes.
And that is why a lot of people a lot of us, me included, could not decode what he was saying because he said too much in a song. Basic.
The difference that you would hear what Ampedu said.
He said.
Yes.
But
Because-
Lumba kind of,
Because
slang
Ampedu
it.
was more,
yeah,
Lumba's was rapid.
Okay.
true.
Okay.
Do you understand?
I get it.
Lumba's was rapid. And he said too much in his songs. If you look at current songs, for instance, you don't say much.
At all.
You have a chorus, you have
not
They don't even have bridges now
and you have
and interludes.
bridges and and then that's it. And people can
They don't
identify.
even use bridges.
Now- nowadays, no
Benami.
bridges, no interludes.
Benami, they don't
Straight.
they don't even use bridges.
2 minutes
I mean,
finished.
because you listen to Yene for instance,
Yeah.
there were 3 different
Yes.
parts of the
Yes.
song.
Yeah.
3 different stories that
Yes.
he was weaving into.
He was
Yes.
weaving
Together,
into
yeah.
things, and
It
it,
all
it
makes
becomes
sense.
Yeah.
it becomes a lot difficult to assimilate everything that he was saying until you decide to take your time, like we've taken our time today
Yeah.
to listen to Austine,
Yeah.
break them down,
Yeah.
and let us know what he was saying and what he meant. Brilliant.
Pure
And
talent.
I mean pure talent, but the catch was the groove that he had.
The groove.
The groove
The
was
Bodo groove.
Yeah, and he
Bodo.
came with the dance.
yes, the groove was solid, so you will not be bored of it, of sitting down listening to things like that. I think he was a genius
Yeah.
when it came
he
to
was.
songwriting.
He was. Okay. Thank you very much, Uncle Ken, Uncle Francis, and Uncle Bessa. Now, let's continue with the breakdown. Austine, the breakdown, are you there?
I'm here, Kwame.
Okay. So, we started with Sika. We did Shedding.
Shedding.
Oh, sorry. I'm still saying the.
No, you get it. That's the official title. No
we
problem.
did Shedding, right? And
Yeah.
then we went to near
Yene Wo Sere Kwa.
Yene Wo Sere Kwa. Okay, that was second. So Sika,
Yeah.
Yene Wo Sere Kwa, Shedding, Yene Wo Bɛtɔ. Now we left with Emere no Beswa.
Yeah, that's my favorite. But Kwame, something small.
Okay.
Bessa said something
All right.
about the photo. You see, because you are breaking down, Uncle Simon, this is what he said. Me dono, dono, me do. So when he sings all that, he says, "Enti osi o koseme amama donoa. Omeji mi photo. Mfan koma pasta. Na pasta enchante big time. Enwuto. Enchante big time. On semi mama donoa. People are saying that or the drobi na yemia. What did he be a mama?
Send in the picture.
If you are for semi mama donoa. And my name worry. Me I make me photo be man. No make me photo. On fan koma pasta. On chante big time.
It is big time, not
Send
picture.
to big time.
No,
I
on
see.
chante big time. On semi mama donoa. On chante big time. Like pastor and chanting photo no so. When you be a drawer. What in the photo nebeko?
But Austine, I think also what he's trying to say is that he doesn't need to do that. I already love the person, so even if you come and you don't have to come and take my photo to go.
See the multiple
kind of the
meaning
opposite of the meaning, isn't it?
Yeah. So that is the double entendre because we are not doing rap. That is why I didn't want to bring that in.
Okay,
But he does that a lot. The double entendre we talk about in rap.
Yeah.
He does that a lot. like Omunimu. You know, I did not use that because it's Joy FM and it is 4 p.m. Yeah, exactly. I could not have explained that with the double entendre with Omunimu. It's Joy FM.
All right, Austine. So let's get to
Semrene Beswa. Yeah. It's my favorite Daddy Lumba song. Nobody has a favorite, but for me, there is a reason it's my favorite. Why? He prophesied this day in Semrene Beswa. What he did was he brought his kids around him and gave them an advice, saying he might be dying, but also his dad did the same for him. So when he starts, he said, Emere ametiasi tie mema mamu ni misioda meye ni emetumi bia ama mahunu se ohene ba ne de ne papa te ase nanso eye den a me nkyerebo yereko ba nyina owo te baabi retwen yen se me kaya na me di ho awerɛhoɔ bebree ɔwo ahene unim se me mayinti na me brei enti me mayi betu wiase adwaadwo ama ewiase adwoodwo won enti me de me mpai bone se papa why ye bi pen and Kwame, there's a line here people don't get it oka se papa ye bi pen a o see Gideon ti inokwa hunu woda. You know, in the Bible, Enoch did not die.
Yes.
So he says a line there, people don't get. You see, Papa, why you be paying? Diana Papa, you paying. Gideon Tino Wodo. So he wished God would not let him die, but he knows that cannot happen. So help me to know when I'm going to die so that I tell my kids what I have for them, what they should do. But he appreciates that cannot happen. That is why he has brought his kids around him, telling them this is what they should do. That is the first stanza of the song.
Right. So, still, okay, Austine. Okay.
Yeah, Kwame, I'm here.
Okay. So we're going to Semrene Beswa now. Yeah. Okay. So Semrene Beswa, Daddy Lumba. We still break it down his songs. Austine is doing that for us here on Showbiz A-Z. Joy 99.7.
Yesterday we saw the two daughters of Daddy Lumba drop at the airport.
Yeah.
So what he was telling his kids around him is manifest a week ago. The second one is very important. Because Daddy Lumba is now telling what his father told him. So, like he brought his kids around, his father also did same. So when he says, "Oh, who are you fosu? Papa, umaye dainwo. Eja tiasie no mante na seda. Papa tiasie no nema ya ante na seda. Minini ye na mate wasie. Onyansani, unyansanti na umaye didi ho." Papa say, and Kwame, this is Kyei, listen. Papa say, Brodie nimse obeye biako. Enti na ne mranti bremuno, eya no de ne ma efisi ne nchen. Sene ebeya na senshi, sene ebeya ni dinyira. Kwame, you know when you plant the plantain, one,
yeah,
it gathers others around it. That one knows that at the point in time, the farmer will come and cut it and go and eat. Brodie nim so obeye biako. Enti na ne mranti bremu ya no de ne mercha ne ho ahia. Said ye beya na sense. Everybody would appreciate this. That is what his dad told him. And Kwame, the name of Owahine Kojofosu, because of what his dad said, now the name Charles Kojofosu would remain in the annals of Ghana history till the world ends. Etini papa bro de na no nim so obeye bia ko de Daddy Lumba cha no hia ye no. Lumba so si ono so de me cha no ho ahia. Enti ade ani papa ntumi anya nko awie ye no. Papa meya kwa kodura wiye. Inti papa, and this time the papa is referring to God. Se memre ne beso a enka mami hu na mi hu mitinema se men kan kire mema. Kwame, the other reverse of it is also true. So why you will umati abrochire better no wako hunu mitinema se maka kire omo. So you need to prepare your life because you don't know when you are going to die. You might tell you want to do something for Kwame Dadzie. You might say you want to give a land to Uncle Ken, but God will not let you know. So prepare yourself now and give a befitting inheritance to your kids so that they will carry on with your name like his dad did.
Wow. That's profound. Okay, so let's listen to the next part of the song. Joy 99.7, Showbiz A-Z. Still here talking Daddy Lumba, his contributions to the art industry, music industry, and his works as well. For the past, how many minutes? Austine has been breaking down some of his songs for us here. Big shouts to you, Winston Amwa, host of the SMS here on Joy 99.7, and to you, George Busumpim, PRO for GAFTA. All right, Emere Naso. Austine.
Emere. But you heard him mention the names of the kids.
Yes.
Calvin Kojofusu.
Yes.
And the two ladies, Nanaya Dennis, and they are the ones who came back yesterday.
Okay.
But we ask ourselves, was he able to do it? If he was not, I think I agree with Uncle Bessa Simons. We need to document it. I know that is what you are going to dovetail into. How our agency ministry, Ghana as a whole, we document some of these things. It's not just Daddy Lumba, but I think that he is the embodiment of Ghana creative arts. So let's use him as a start so that we produce documentaries, we produce detailed things that will talk about our rich creative arts that we have. Because yesterday I was saying something, Kwame. If you are a journalist, young journalist, and you are coming up, you'd hear names like Charlie Sam. You hear names like Elizabeth Ohene, Kwaku Jr., Kofi Kumsen, Komla Dumo. Do you have works of these people that you can fall on to be able to grow, to be able to learn? It's a difficulty. So let us learn from this and let MUSIGA lead this through the creative arts ministry so that we'll be able to start doing some of these things.
Austine, if you have some time to spare, please stay on because we'll be getting into the other side of the discussion.
I'm still on. No
All
problem.
right. Thank you very much. Still right here on Joy 99.7 FM, Showbiz A-Z. Let's take a breather. We'll be right back. Joy 99.7, Showbiz A-Z. And some people are asking why Austine didn't break down Dr. Panier and Somi Sobone. Professor Mike Yamwa. This one says, good afternoon. Wow, I love what you're doing. Daddy Lumba is a music legend indeed. Hope in Odumase Krobo. And this one says, the only song I did not like Daddy Lumba sing was Odobe Udienungu, meaning he prefers his mother to die instead of his wife, a song he did with Borax. I never liked that song. He is truly a legend and may his soul rest in perfect peace. Frank from La Paz. Hello, Kwame. What a big loss to Ghanaian musicians at large. What a big blow to all of us. I don't know the words that I can describe the great legend with. Truth, our great icon, is gone. Today's show is really big for the likes of my own Uncle Ken, Gideon, Aryeequaye, Francis Doku, and Austine Woode, Uncle Bessa. These are great voices on our airwaves. Indeed, we are grateful to these voices, including yourself, all the time. From great Jabati, Gan West. All right, some more comments here. This one says, I'm Amma from La. Let us not forget that Daddy Lumba also won the Ghana Music Award Artist of the Year in 2000. Yeah. The breakdown is on Joy FM. Love it, love it, love it. Please don't end the show without playing Some Girls Are Dangerous. Some girls are dangerous. Some girls are dangerous, Mo. Michael from Odumase Krobo. This says, I am a big Daddy Lumba fan. His music actually helped me learn Kyei growing up. Oh, wow. Beyond the vibes, some of his songs have been therapy for me, especially when I lost my mom. Lumba's music speaks to the soul. R.I.P. Champ from Eben, Dansuma. Good afternoon. It's true, when the frog dies is when we see its full length. I'm enjoying your show as always. Big up yourself, Ajiman Joseph, Tema Community 9, aka Ajingo Deman. Kwame, what sucks blood in dogs is called tick, and it can easily kill the dog if prompt action is not taken. From Dr. Nutako. All right, thank you. All right, so we're coming in here. One of the big topics that has emerged during the week is how to preserve Lumba's legacy. People talking about the funeral. You should go to Kumasi, you should be here, you should be there. Others talking about a museum. Tonight, there is going to be a vigil, candlelight vigil, in honor of Daddy Lumba at the Black Star Square. And there will be coverage, 360 coverage on television and our social media platforms. So look out for that one. Now let's come in here and keep talking about Daddy Lumba's legacy. He has left a lot, great deal. 33 albums, 34th one in the making. 33 albums. Wow. Before we talk about legacy, though, let's speak to Professor John Collins, who is an ethnomusicologist and a music lecturer. He's been with us for a long time. He's written about our music, documented our music, the history of Highlife, and I love reading from his Highlife time. Good afternoon, Prof. Good afternoon, Prof.
Good afternoon.
How are you doing, sir?
Fine, thank you.
Thank you very much for your time this afternoon. We're celebrating Daddy Lumba, but we're trying to get into his music, his style, and the genre of music he did during his time.
Very good. I've been listening to the whole program.
Thank you. Okay, once again, now let's get into his style of music. How would you describe his contribution to the evolution of Highlife music, particularly?
I think Bessa Simon and the others were saying that he's taken Highlife. Let me go back a bit before I answer that. To say a little bit about Burger Highlife itself, because he's a very good example of Burger Highlife. Even before Burger Highlife, we had funk and soul music, and if we go back, we're going back a little bit to the 70s now. So a lot of the youth in Ghana fell in love with James Brown, funk, soul, and it took some years for the youth to mature and Africanize the music into, let's say, Afro funk, funky Highlife. I'm thinking here of Blair Amboli, Simi Guado, Ebo Taylor, and also, of course, in Nigeria, Philip and Ikarapo Kuti. Now, after the funk came disco music, which is the music that influenced the Burger Highlife musicians.
Hello, Prof.
Hello.
Please, we are having difficulty hearing you, so let's call you back again in a minute.
All right.
Thank you. All right, so you just heard Professor John Collins there. He is an ethnomusicologist. He's written about Ghanaian music, Highlife music. He has a Highlife time 1, 2, 3, and he speaks to the various forms that Highlife has taken, from the very first palm wine to the big band to whatever, Burger Highlife to contemporary Highlife to today. And we are just asking him to share with us Lumba's contribution to Highlife, the evolution during his time. And even if it is true that Lumba really did Highlife music, just as Uncle Francis asked Uncle Bessa earlier on. So we're trying to get into that, trying to call him back again and find out the type of music Lumba did, the various fusions that he did. We know there is a bit of pop in there, the Boga Highlife thing. At a point in time, Lumba himself, the sound changed a bit when we got into the contemporary Highlife. He's done reggae at some point in time. What really was his genre, his craft like? That's what we're trying to analyze here. And then we get into the legacy discussion. What can we do to make sure that Daddy Lumba's legacy lives on here on Joy 99.7 FM, Showbiz A-Z. Now, let me come in here and let's talk about his legacy some more. Okay. All right. So, Prof is on now. Hello, Prof.
Okay. Hello. How are you?
Yes, it's better now. Yes. So, please continue from where we left off.
Yeah, I was trying to put some background to Daddy Lumba and the Bɛtɔ. Can you hear me all right? I'm getting a lot of echo.
Yes, there is echo and sound not so smooth.
Let me go outside a bit.
Okay, so we will get back to Professor John Collins' very important submission he was making there. But let's get in here. Let's talk about Daddy Lumba's legacy. Let me start with you, Uncle Bessa Simon. We've heard so many suggestions. Let's name a street after him. Let's build a museum. Koja Koto Watson says we should build a shrine. The museum should be turned into a shrine, like Fela Shrine or sort of. We should do a museum for him at his hometown. He said the funeral should go to his hometown. A number of things being said by other people. Uncle Bessa, MUSIGA as a union, have you thought about anything to celebrate Lumba with, to make sure that his legacy lives on?
Yes, I think it's early days yet. This is not the time to be thinking about where we're going to build a shrine and everything, you know. He just passed away.
Yes.
I mean, when Ampedu died at the arrangements made, there's a place in Obo where his hometown, where they are going to build like something there for Ampedu, so that it becomes part of their when people visit or tourists come around, they can see who came from, Ampedu came from this place, this is what he did, da 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 da. So it will be on the social media everywhere. So when you come to Ghana, you can add it to your visit, to visit the place. And they are still working on it. So, I mean, it wouldn't be a bad idea. I am for everything that will help our history. And as we all know, we cannot write Ghana, the history of Ghana music without Lumba's bit that he came to do. So that won't be bad. But I think at the moment, the family are thinking about other things, and that is what MUSIGA is doing. And we want to work with the family, work with all the stakeholders, so that we get Lumba a befitting burial. And anything that the family wants, we will go and especially things that we think will enhance the sending of for Lumba. We will just go in and do like we've done for all the great musicians and make sure that he gets a befitting burial. I mean, Lumba's legacy is not only building a shrine or building anything. His legacy is in his music. And we just had a meeting with museums and monuments. We're trying to now kickstart having a music museum in Ghana, and fuse it with the Hall of Fame. And we just started doing that. So we are trying to secure not only Lumba, but get everybody's legacy in there. One thing we realize is that we have not documented most of our old musicians who have passed. There's no data. Even if there's a data, it's not done the way is supposed. We know how other countries have done theirs, and so we are working on that also to get the right team together to kickstart this. We've spoken to, some families of the musicians, and they are ready to give us information, give us some of the things they've kept for the museums and things like that. And so I think that is where we should go. Also, I think we can make, for suggestions, we can make suggestions, but I think it's early days yet. But I was also going to say, when what Austine said, before I forget, if I can throw this in. I was talking about multiple meanings for what musicians put together. And I can tell Lumba must be a very happy man. There's nothing like writing a song and about 5 people giving you the owner, the writer, different interpretations, different meanings. And it's always interesting to listen to that. I think the last one we listened to, Lumba's, most of his songs is about realities of life. I mean, not many people have come to terms with death. But, when you get to my age, it comes so many that now you see, no, this is part of us. This will happen. Did I, do the right things? Am I having, if I'm not there, what's behind me? And I think this is what Lumba wrote about this song. The last Grand Ball we had, Lumba performed.
Oh, okay.
And teacher from Teacher and his Africana
band,
the man who did and so Lumba was behind me, and when teacher started saying, and he sang with him, and that was a big thing. It was a big thing. I didn't even know that he has used that line in his song.
Okay.
So I mean, that's a great thing, which means Lumba has done his homework. He knew about our high lives.
Yeah.
And that is why his song, I heard you talking about high life. High life is not in the drum beat.
Okay.
No. I mean, you can play funk, you can play reggae, but we sing high life melodies.
All right.
If a white man is singing Some Girls Are Dangerous, the melody will be totally different because their accents go up, ours come down. So the contours will be very, very different. But musicians also write about their lives. Hearing about the plantain and the little plantains growing around it. I lived in a village with my granddad for 2 years in my family. And when I went there, they used to catch crabs in a hole. Within 1 year, I was an expert.
Hey.
I can catch any crab. when, but I haven't even thought of it writing about a song with this. But Lumba is done it all. So it tells us that every musician has to have a life to write about. If you don't have a life to write about, then that's a different story. And Lumba is always advising his listeners, about reality. So if I think if Lumba has had a church, it would have been a very progressive church because he talks about realities in life. And what I would like to say is the young ones, please, what's happening here today at Joy FM, I think the young ones should go back and listen to what Lumba did. He just didn't take one line and finish the song. He developed it into so many forms. So I think this is also very, very important for us to look at. Thank you.
Thank you, Uncle Bessa. Prof is back. Hello, Prof.
Hello.
Okay, it's better, far better now. So, yes, I asked you about Lumba's contribution to high life music and the evolution.
Yeah. I wanted to take the story back 10 years. The 1980s is when the Burger Highlife and Daddy Lumba came up. But 10 years before that, it was soul music and funk music. And at first, many Ghanaian musicians were just so much in love with James Brown, they copied it, that type of music. But gradually, Ghanaian and Nigerian musicians started to make local versions, like Bay Ambule with Samik Radu, and then Ebo Taylor, of course, funky Highlife, or Afro Funk sometimes they call it, and then Fela Kuti in Nigeria. So the same thing happened 10 years later with disco. And the funny thing is that disco came out of funk music. A lot of people don't realize this. Funk was played by live bands. Disco was played in discotheques. So when the Ghanaians who went to Germany in the 1980s, like George Doku and Daddy Lumba, they met disco. The reason is that disco is funk plus machine music. There were bands in Germany, like I think Munich Machine and Kraftwerk, that were putting in electronic beats into funk music. So that turned into disco. That was the time of people like Boney M, this lady, what's her name now? Donna Summers, and Michael Jackson, of course. So Daddy Lumba and these guys, they met this music in Germany. And basically they Africanized it or Akanized it. And the first stage was of course, George Daku with Akutia Grotho. But what Daddy Lumba did was, and I think this is brought out very well by your speakers, like Austine Woode and Bessa and so on. But what Daddy Lumba took this sort of disco-fied Highlife, but went back into the storytelling mode. Somebody mentioned Nana Ampedu did this back in the 60s and 70s. And of course, Konimo did the same. So I think this is, I'm not a tree speaker myself, but obviously the sophistication of the language, the poetry, that puts him in the same class as somebody like Nana Ampedu or Konimo. And everybody was bringing out the problem of interpretation. How do you interpret a song? And if you're, singing lyrical songs is a type of poetry. One of the problems with, or not problems, it's a good thing about poetry actually, is you have multiple meanings depending on the listeners, because you're using double entendres and tricks of the trade, linguistic tricks of the trade. And it seems that Daddy Lumba was a master of this. So in fact, he falls into the Highlife storytelling tradition, as well as being a Burger Highlife musician. And I think he went further than people like George Daku by doing this. And that's why his songs are very difficult to interpret.
Wow, that's very insightful right there. But later on, Lumba's sound changed. At a point, he was even doing reggae music.
Yes. Well, Amachi Daddy, many of them were doing. They brought. I think one of your speakers brought this point out that Highlife can easily incorporate R&B or reggae beats. It's a very flexible type of rhythmic music. It can absorb different types of rhythms into it. European music tends to be one way. It's either this beat or that way, that type of beat. But African music contains multiple beats. So I think this is why the reggae was coming in. But the other thing about Daddy Lumba is he didn't stop. He continued, and his music was changing. Some people even say his music was Afro pop, or they give it different names. And he was doing this because he was always interacting with young musicians. I mean, in fact, so many people from about 2000, including some of the contemporary Highlife musicians, were influenced by him or even worked with him. So he was actually a bridge between the generations in terms of Highlife. I'm just trying to think of Borax was mentioned, and there were a few others. I think, of course, Oforian Ponce.
Yes, Oforian Ponce. Yeah.
Felix Owusu, Ochiami Kwame, and I even heard that King Promise was working with him before he died on an album that wasn't completed.
Yeah.
So he kept in touch with the youth, and his music changed because of that, I think. So he was very flexible. He didn't just play his one style of music. So that's a very important thing about.
Okay. Okay, please, one last question. How would you describe Paul Simon's split voices, which incorporates Yamfosa with Mick Party?
On a different. Okay. Well, that was back in the days of world music. I mean, Paul Simon
does it pass for Boga Highlife?
No, not at all.
Okay.
No,
thank you very much.
Completely different. It's world music. Yeah.
Thank you very much, Professor John Collins, for your time this afternoon here on Showbiz A-Z, Joe 99.7 FM. Now, let me come to you, Uncle Francis Doku. Yeah, let's stay with legacy. Or you want to touch on this before you rope?
Oh, no, it's fine.
Okay, let's
I mean, I think for me, it's more about how we leverage, Lumba's his popularity, as we've spoken about, and the fact that he's been a very, very big part of our music for a long time, for like a generation. I think that the best memory of anything that we'll give to Lumba is to look at how to immortalize that work, along with the works of so many others before him, and those I believe who will come after him, in putting, some level of deliberate, strategy around that. I mean, what I'm saying is that other countries, and I think Uncle Bessa mentioned that we know what others have done with the music and their stars, and all that. But we haven't been able to. I'm happy to hear that there's something that is going on at Obokwa for Nana Kwame and Pedu. But I feel these guys are, beyond just their hometown, what they mean to the nation in terms of what they've done with their work and all that. And so it's important that we find a way to immortalize them better than we've done. Last week or a week before, a friend of mine called me on WhatsApp video, and he said that, Don, I'm going to show you something you'll be jealous about. And he said he's in front of Bob Marley's house, in Kingston. And, and it was a stop they're on a cruise, and it was a stop in Kingston so that they go to Bob Marley's house, and see. I said, wow, I'm pained. I should be where you are standing, that kind of thing. I mean, if you're in Zanzibar, for instance, part of the tour in Stone Town is that you go to Freddie Mercury's house. It's ingrained into their tourism that you don't go to Zanzibar and not visit Freddie Mercury's. Apparently, Freddie Mercury was
the lead singer for Queen.
Freddie Mercury. He apparently grew up in Zanzibar.
I see.
And then he was taken out of the country at a certain age and went up. But they have incorporated him into their tour, that you cannot be walking in Stone Town and not go to his house. So
amazing.
It's done. And I believe that the best memory we can give, I mean, look at all the big artists that have passed through this country. Some gone, some still alive with us.
Yeah.
A.B. Krentil, Papa Yangson, So, does anybody travel to Ghana because of Highlife? I think that's a question.
That's
we need
a big
to ask.
question.
It's a question we need to ask. People travel to Jamaica because of reggae, and it's part of the tour that they go to. So I am suggesting that, can we have a strategy that says that at least if you come to Ghana, you visit 5, homes or studios of some of the big, that are part of your package. And so people travel to Ghana because of that. Because at the moment, it's not. The people who travel to Lagos because they want to go to
Celebration,
and others. We haven't gotten that. I think there must be some seriousness and a deliberate, way to do it. I'm happy.
Uncle
not
Bessa
happy, really.
Okay.
Because sometimes we say the things and it doesn't happen. Yeah. As Lumba issue has come now, we're talking about it. Yeah, after the funeral, everybody forgets. Then we go back to. We must be a bit more serious.
But Uncle Francis keeps saying we. Who are the we? Is it government? Is it the family? Is it
people,
union? Who are the we? Because Fela, for example, his daughter organized celebration before other people came to support. So if the families
It's
of
not just
these-
celebration. You know, his place, his place.
Yeah, the
It's
shrine.
The shrine. I didn't want to say shrine because people say we should build shrine.
that's how he
but
called it.
it's a shrine,
Yeah.
and it's a big draw for people to visit. You know, so not just celebration, but the fact that the Lagos government has accepted that as a part of how they would market the destination is what I'm talking about. Have we? And if I say we, I mean
As a nation, yeah.
as a nation.
Yeah.
Embrace the fact that we want to incorporate Highlife into our offering as a destination. Again, I was telling Uncle Ken earlier that when I was in Congo recently, I met
Yeah.
somebody who is big in rumba, their music, and he said when I said they introduced me as coming from Ghana, I said, "Oh, Ghana, Highlife influence rumba and all our music, you know." And so there's that thing out there, and you know, people are claiming Highlife.
Oh,
The
yeah.
Nigerians are claiming Highlife. Cameroonians are claiming
Liberians.
Highlife. I think we need to codify it in a way that it becomes us. Become what? No, you can't fight with Jamaica over reggae, can you? You can't.
You can't.
You know, so there must be a way that we can put that. And the likes of Lumba, Nana Ampedu, and all the others before them have shown that they had lived their lives to give us the best out of it. And I think we must, as a nation, not let them down. We have to have a strategy, starting from the point of the tourism side, work with all the agencies or organizations that are within that, and find a way to properly codify that. So people will travel to Ghana as part of their thing. They will go to the homes of these people. So that we don't just
Awesome.
talk about Lumba and all these things that we said.
And then
it
after
ends,
everything is
then everybody
done,
goes back. Otherwise, then, you know, what?
Kwame,
Uncle Ken.
oh, I'm so upset.
Oh,
When you were talking to Prof,
yes.
some friend of mine was disrupting my attention with certain messages
This friend.
because I had wanted to tell you, I wanted to ask Prof about a venture that he's part of,
Yeah.
which is very instrumental
Okay.
in keeping the, all these great artists' names and works in the public system.
Yeah.
Have you heard of this center in cantonments, the Deacon Center?
I've heard.
You've heard of the Deacon
Yeah.
Center?
Yes.
Yes. Now, the Deacon Center, I think the reason why we do not know too much about it is because it started off as a photography library
Okay.
and learning center in Accra. And it was co-founded by a Ghanaian photographer,
All right.
Paul Hinson, with the
okay.
help of an American friend of his who was interested. They put up this place in cantonments, and it is one of the biggest libraries in Africa. Strangely enough, Professor what's his name? Collins.
Yeah,
That
John
you just
Collins.
mentioned.
Yeah.
Because they only concentrated in photography and all that sort of thing. Professor Collins has recently joined the Deacon Center
Wonderful.
to lead efforts in preserving Africa's diverse musical traditions through a newly created unit, the Boko Department.
Okay.
Now, this
Boko.
Boko Department, Prof is looking at archives that span approximately 6 million items, including rare recordings, academic writings, musical instruments, historical photographs, posters, and manuscripts. Many of these materials had previously been at risk at damage due to age and environmental conditions. So I wanted to come in and
Okay,
ask Prof
the
to talk
question.
more
Okay.
about his involvement in these things. Because don't forget, Prof is also organizing 100 years of Highlife sometime this year,
Yeah.
and he has all this, and he's,
Should have culminated in
Yes.
that place.
Yes.
Wow.
that's why I say I'm so upset. This guy,
person
I
was
will knock his
interrupting.
head when I see him.
Hey,
Before I realized you had finished speaking with Prof,
Yes,
for him
yes,
to
yes.
elaborate more on the Deacon Center.
I heard you
Okay.
say, oh,
Yes. That's when I said, oh, you know.
I think we can
because I
find
think-
time and talk about
Because
that.
I think we've been all talking about
Yeah.
having a place where we can exhibit
Yeah.
stuff from our legends.
Exactly.
And this is something that has been set up and not too much has been heard of it.
True.
Maybe because it was just a photo library in the past,
Hmm.
you know. But now that Prof is involved in it and is willing to put all his recordings and stuff that he has, I think we should congratulate him and people at the Deacon Center
Great.
for that effort.
Thank you, Uncle Ken. Now, let's get on the phone line and speak to the acting executive director of the creative art agency, Gideon Aryeequaye, who has joined us now. Good evening, sir.
Good evening, my brother. How are you?
We're doing well. How about you?
I'm fine, thank you.
And I hope-
Acting Executive Secretary.
Executive secretary, not director.
Yes.
Yes, thank you so much for the correction, sir.
You're welcome.
I hope we're getting ready for the vigil tonight.
Yes, we are. Yes, we are. I wish you were here to see the preparations. Everything
Wow.
is set. Yes, I think, Ghanaians, like always, we wait for the darkness to fall before they start, trooping in. But currently everything is set. Security is here, ambulance is here, fire is here. Everything is ready for
Awesome.
us to begin.
And we'll be coming there right after the show.
Certainly, we're expecting you. Don't forget to be in black and then come with your candles.
Sure, we will. But please let me ask, what inspired this move in the first place?
Well, as a father of the creative, I thought that I needed to do something for Daddy Lumba, who's a personal friend anyway. When I heard the news, I couldn't come to terms with it. We were in at the Victoria Park in Cape Coast, organizing the Panda Fest, when my brother Nico Santana showed the news to me. But I couldn't believe it. I thought it was one of those, because this was the first time we heard something like that. But he later got back to me. I saw him making a few calls, and later got back to me and said, "Look, it's been confirmed." I said, "Oh God, no!" I mean, this coming right after that KB, I couldn't believe it. Honestly, I knew the gentleman wasn't well, but I did not know for a fact that this was a channel through which he went away. But nobody was expecting this. Nobody was expecting this, and I think that it's a vacuum that cannot be filled.
Early on, we saw a video of some family members or Busuapenian saying that you had not spoken to them about this vigil. Have you done that yet?
Well, when that news came, I had then spoken to some people at home. But then, with regards to the Busuapenian himself, who I think lives somewhere in Suta, we had not spoken to him. I think that eventually they made him understand that, as they say, Daddy Lumba could be our this year, but then broadly, Daddy Lumba is for Ghanaians. And then this is a national event that we're doing. I just thought off my feet and decided to do this for him. Called a few of my officers and said, "Look, let's organize this for him," and they thought that it was okay. So I went by the immediate family, who actually thought it was okay. We later paid a courtesy call on them to go and commiserate with them, and they actually thanked us for putting this together. So they're coming here today, and that actually frames up the fact that we are not at loggerheads at all. Nobody is peeved at what we're doing.
Gideon, what activities have you tabled for tonight's vigil?
Well, if I give you a pictorial description of what is going to happen here, then somebody who is supposed to come probably stay at home. So
Really?
I can only tell you that we'll commence with the pouring of the libation. There will be, indeed, he's an Akan, but we're on the Ghana and would not want to stoke any controversy. And so there will be libation pouring, also traditional prayers in Ghana, traditional prayers in Akan, and then there will be a Christian prayer, which will usher the whole thing in. But prior to that, we'll have a spoken word person come and do his own thing to usher in those prayers. And then after which, we'll have a few more. and then we'll do the speeches and the tributes and all that. There'll be segments where we'll all light our candles and sing along one of Daddy Lumba's tunes, and then there'll be choral music by choirs, and there'll be other performances by a live band. Meanwhile, there will be a standby DJ who will be introducing the program alongside an original DJ, original MC, and so it's going to be a fantastic evening.
Are we going to see some of the top musicians or maybe some of his proteges also perform?
Well, I do not know who to classify as a top musician.
Maybe some of his proteges, if you like.
Some musicians that people love. And this one is at the discretion of MUSIGA, who are our partners. It's at the discretion of MUSIGA, so we leave that solely to them. We're hoping that this is only a perceived 4-hour event. But as you can see, obviously we cannot accommodate the musicians if they say they're coming in droves. So we would have to have like an all-night TBB program, maybe well after he's been interred, so that we can organize a proper concert for him. Because we've had calls from Davido and Co. who would also want to be part of that celebration of the icon. This is somebody that everybody loves. 95%, if I can say, or if I'm allowed, of Ghanaians love him. They love his music. He's been very, very consistent for about 40 years that he's been doing this, dropping album after album. And for each of those albums, you cannot take out one single track that is useless. Obviously, fantastically loaded lyrically, rhythmically, instrumentally, So this is somebody that I call an era. This era moves. It takes a long time for you to have another era like that. No wonder he was actually discussed in Parliament, and some suggestion that he's giving a state burial, which I fully support because he deserves it. Yeah, this is somebody who plays the contemporary Highlife music, or what we see the secular music, and then when he delves into the gospel, it's another breaker. We see musicians who go into gospels and they end up with their career being messed up because they can't sustain themselves. But this guy, we know, once he is in the secular, he even brings out lyrics that are very, very controversial. That it's left at the discretion of the listener. The meaning is left at the discretion of the listener. Pretty much controversial. But then the same person goes into gospel, and he's well received everywhere. Yeah, so such a person, an icon for that matter. You cannot do that. And once he's left, it's a complete vacuum. That'll be difficult to fill. And there may be people playing like him, acting like him, and all that, but there will never be another Daddy Lumba.
Thank you very much, Gideon Aryeequaye. We're coming there right after the show. Thanks so much for your time this evening right here on Joy 99.7 FM. And you just heard Gideon Aryeequaye, who is the acting executive secretary of the Creative Art Agency, speaking to us about tonight's Candlelight Vigil in honor of Daddy Lumba. Yeah, I'll be coming to you, Austine, in a moment. But let's take this message. Let me get to Austine Woode and pick his thoughts on the vigil, which is happening tonight. Austine.
Yeah, Kwame.
Yeah, so before we go, we're having a candlelight vigil for Daddy Lumba this evening at the Independence Square.
So for me, it's a celebration of life, like I told you last week. A great Ghanaian son of the land has fallen, so it should be a celebration of life. But Kwame, ask yourself, is it because it's Daddy Lumba and the whole world's attention, or the whole world's or country's attention is on us? That is why we are doing this. And after, what do we do? What lessons did we learn from the Ebony case to build on? Because during the Ebony incident, the whole country's attention was on creative arts, his funeral, his songs, and everything. We thought that was going to be a springboard for us to do something that would be lasting in the industry. I don't like these ad hoc things we do because there is the attention on us. Then after, we go and lie down. So I keep saying, tonight, let us all in this industry make a pledge from our minister to the agencies under creative arts, to industry players, to everybody who loves creative arts, not just Daddy Lumba, not just music, but beat making, but movies, everything. Let us use today as a starting point, a journey we are embarking on, that we are going to do things right. We are going to document what we do. We are going to put processes and things in place so that we are able to do things properly. Kwame, lastly, we always talk about how we have not been able to document some of these things in our industry. But there's an advice I would want to give all of us. Anytime somebody takes up the burden, responsibility, invest time and resources into producing such things, there is always a quarrel among us. You check the sports people. Somebody wrote a book about Sika. Somebody wrote a book, Fentio Tahiru did a story about Ghana's participation at the 2010 and 2006 World Cup. Only in creative arts, when Austine Woode decides to do something on Hip Life, somebody will come and say, I did not agree with this. You should have interviewed this one rather. Why are you interviewing TikTok but not T-Blaze? Where is Nana Num Sydney? Where is that? Where is that?
You know why?
We have microphones.
Because thank you. Thank you, Francis.
Is it because we have microphones?
So I think that when we set out to do a documentary, it should be properly planned, not a haphazard thing, not an ad hoc thing. So you invite people, you do proper research, then you encompass everything into what you are doing. You cannot talk to everybody, but at least when you are doing a Daddy Lumba documentary, Kotoko residents will come in. Teresa, who was she? And a lot of these things, Oforan Ponsa will not be missing in there. Mr. Borax will not be missing in there. Fifi Bansin will not be missing in there. So do proper research, but let's stop the bickering. Let today be a springboard, a starting point for us to properly do things in our industry, because the nation's attention is on us. Not for the wrong reasons, but we need to prove to them that we have learned lessons from the Ebony incident, and moving on, we would leave a legacy in this industry we are in, Kwame.
Thank you, Austine Woode. You've been amazing today on the show. Thank you so much. Yeah, let me get to you, Uncle Ken. Hello, Uncle Ken. We are going for Vigil this evening.
Yes, Kwame.
I have some candles to give away.
You do?
Yes.
Oh, that's nice.
And I was there.
That's why we are all dressed in black.
Yes.
You know, I'm ready for it. I think that it's a good thing that we go to, you know, have a vigil for one of our... I mean, this guy, after all what has been said today in this studio, if you do not regard this guy as a legend, then I don't know who else in our musical circles is a legend. So I think that it's very necessary. I think he deserves everything that he's getting. And to all those who've had negative things to say, nobody has a perfect life in this world. Nobody. None of us in this room have a perfect life. We all have our excesses, you know, that people can refer to, you know, in times. But I'm happy, for instance, that their lawyers have put out a statement that anybody who has any grievance with the late icon should contact them so that matters can be resolved amicably, because there's been too much animosity, and we all wait till people leave the earth, and then we say, hey, he's done this to me, he owes me this, he's... The lawyers say, if you have any genuine case, come to them and let them resolve it. So let's all go have this vigil and have a night of remembrance of our great icon.
Uncle Francis.
Yeah, I think it's a good one. I mean, we've all said around the table and all the things that have been said throughout the week since Lumba passed, or even before. I mean, I think Lumba was really celebrated, throughout his life. And so I think it's in order that the Creative Arts Agency, which we haven't heard of much, up until now, at least has an opportunity to use this to show that, well, they're still around. And I hope that after this, we'll still see them, as we had hoped for them to bring all the creatives together and support them in the way that it is. But for me, this vigil shouldn't be just it. After this, what happens? After this, after all the process to the funeral, what happens? And as we've all said, we need
after this 1 week.
Isn't this the 1 week?
No. They have a special 1 week commemoration.
No, but the point I was making is that the conversation that we've had, asking, yes, it's not just celebrating Lumba at a vigil and funeral and all that, but how do we immortalize him beyond just all these conversations that we're having? So I think that is in order, but it must lead to something bigger than just a funeral and all that.
All right, thank you, Uncle Francis Doku, and to you, our MUSIGA president.
Thank you. Before the vigil, we are all praying that come November, Highlife music will become an intangible heritage for us. Is being worked on. And
nice.
I think we should all support that. We should support Highlife, especially the young ones. And just quite recently, MUSIGA, with the support from GTA, honored Famille as the Highlife Artist winner of the year. And we are going to do this for the Highlife Artist winners every year.
If one person wins again the following year,
we will do something for them, and beautiful. It's going to get bigger.
Did he win at the GT?
The TGMA, yes. TGMA, Highlife Artist.
So it's going to happen every year, but we need to make Highlife cool. Highlife is cool, as Famia said. It's cool, and I know it's going to enhance his career. For the vigil, which MUSIGA is part of the organizing body.
Partners,
I'm going to be there tonight. So all MUSIGA members, every musician is supposed to be there. What I'm looking at is for all musicians to come together and rally behind MUSIGA. At the moment, what we've seen is that every musician is doing their small individual thing, forgetting that we also have our union. And so if you are not part of the union, you are letting the system down. So I'm encouraging everybody, whether you are A-list or a C-list artist, you have to be a member of MUSIGA, because it's the only union we have. And so we should unite. And I know most of the young people are also at loggerheads. We don't need that, We all have to come together, rally behind MUSIGA, so that we can get things done, so that we can get policies working, so that we can get copyright systems working, so that the CMOs can collect our royalties from all the users. Anybody who uses music pays, and then money comes into our pocket. So tonight we're going to be at the Vigil. Independence Square. It's starting at 6 o'clock. Sharp. Don't waste too much time. Find your black dress, wear it.
3 minutes. 3 minutes.
Yes. And let's meet there and celebrate this guy who came to add, to Ghanaian music.
Thank you very much. A big thank you to you, Professor John Collins, to you, Uncle Bessa Simons, Gideon, Aryeequaye, Austine Woode, Uncle Ken, and Uncle Francis for coming and helping us to do this show today here on Showbiz A-Z. This one says, thank you, Kwame, for your program. Very enlightening. The gentleman analyzing the lyrics of these songs is so expert. He did... lyrics of these songs so expertly, it's just great. It's a Daddy Lumba music masterclass, Delphinus in Accra Central. Lumba is a whole cause. Great show. Fred from OEB Estate. This show is produced by Philip Nye, supported by Anita Ter with Olivier Fangnon on social media, and DJ Betty helping with the music. My name is Kwame Dadzie. On behalf of the team, Yakramu Nina. And even before that, please, this evening we are carrying the entire Vigil live on Joy Prime Television. It will be live on our social media handles as well. So please stay tuned. I know not everybody will be able to go to the Black Star Square. So just watch Joy Prime and be on our social media handles. Yakramo.